Hi everyone, Gord Smith here from Alta Consulting. This is the topic of the week, and we're going to talk about cadences or company meetings and some of the most effective meetings that for professional services firms. So let's take a step back and talk a little bit about what are some of the principles of good meetings or a good cadence structure. One is accountability. Some might take it a step farther and call it radical accountability. So people's results and outcomes are visible and they get discussed in an open forum to create transparency. Another characteristic is a reasonable proportion of strategic thinking or strategic discussion. The cadence can't purely be talking about tactical things. It has to involve some strategic discussion about core business issues. The third would be tracking commitments. So, making sure that people do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. And the final would be alignment, aligning people around different concepts, etc. So I've identified kind of 5 meetings. Many organizations are meeting too much, or their meetings aren't producing the right kind of outcomes as per the previous discussion there. So let's talk about the 5 most critical ones. First would be the pipeline resource meeting. So I go into a lot of organizations and they have kind of maybe their sales meeting is separate from their resource meeting. So the alignment between sales and delivery never really happens the way it should. And so I would suggest a sales pipeline meeting. You start the meeting with a discussion about the pipeline. What are the opportunities? What's the probability of closing? What kind of skills do they need? When will they potentially close? This creates a pipeline of skills and avoids the issue about skills gaps or excessive use of subcontractors, because you know what's coming and you can deal with it accordingly. And it also helps align sales and marketing. That naturally flows into a resource discussion. Who are our people? What are they working on? How long are they booked? What skills do they have? If they are available, what marketing, sales, or other initiatives can they work on? How do we support pre-sales to get the closure to some of the pipeline? So by wrapping that up in one meeting, you create this better alignment and more efficiency. Meeting number 2 is the daily huddle. A daily huddle should be something that's short, maybe 15 minutes long, and ideally, as a scaling up coach, I recommend a unique time like 10:52 or 3:07 or something like that before it sticks out in people's mind. There's only a short number of discussions that happen in a daily huddle. What are you working on? Like your top priorities, not everything you're working on, your priorities. KPIs, what are your daily KPI that you report on? And where are you stuck? Those are the 3 things. Often they end up being like a justification for all the stuff you're working on. I'm working on this and I'm working on that. I'm working on that. No. Just what are your priorities for the day to create the communication? Daily huddles work better when they're cascaded, meaning that the bottom of the organization meets first, conducts their daily huddles. Then the managers might participate in a manager's daily huddle, and that would flow into a leadership daily huddle. So by starting and organizing them in that way so they cascade, the issues bubble up right to the senior leadership and can be discussed. The next meeting is the project kickoff, project closeout meeting. This is internal, not with the client. I'm talking about internal. So the project kickoff is the opportunity to get sales and delivery aligned around who's the client, what do we sell, what are the deliverables, who are the players of the organization, and the decision-making process. What are potential next steps or future engagements that relate to this client? So that's critically important. But even as important is the closeout. A lot of organizations don't do these, or they get put on the back burner. This is the opportunity to share lessons learned on a project. It's the opportunity to identify potential cross-sell, upsell areas. It's an opportunity to identify the benefits or the value that the project delivered. If you have some hard business case data, it's an opportunity to align sales and delivery as well. So I would put sales, marketing, and delivery in the project kickoff and the project closeout. The third Fourth meeting actually is a strategic council meeting, another scaling up concept. This is perhaps a bi-weekly meeting with the leadership team, and it's just to discuss a business issue, a strategic business issue. It could be low utilization, it could be ineffective marketing, it could be learning and development related, but it's a robust discussion about a singular business issue that involves all the leadership team with no expectation of consensus on it. And this gives ample space for the organization to talk about strategic issues in the organization. And then finally is a cadence or meeting rhythm around quarterly, so quarterly planning. And in that meeting, talking about a strategic topic, but also talking about execution. So, what are the company's priorities? What are the company's priorities for the quarter? Who's responsible for them? What are the KPIs we're going to track? And then holding individuals accountable to those in the form of a 13-week race or project plan. So those happen quarterly, ideally a day long, maybe 2 days at the beginning of the year to do annual and quarterly planning, and then every 90 days a quarterly planning session and follow up on the previous commitments from the prior quarter. The final comment I would make about meetings is now's the time to embed AI into your meeting structure. There's lots of excellent products like Microsoft Copilot that can make communication and meeting outcomes more transparent. So I'd encourage everybody to consider looking at those types of tools to support your meeting and cadence.